My guest for this part of the conversation on Politics HQ is Gbenga Olorunpomi, public relations consultant and member of the APC. And just before that break, he was talking about how the party saw the Labour Party's Peter Obi winning the state in the presidential election as a wake-up call. So, Gbenga, I want to pick up from there. In terms of, you've answered in terms of Lagos APC waking up and saying that, yes, we can still hold on to the state, but we saw that as a particular wake-up call. What do you think are the issues voters are going to take with them? APC has been in one formation or the other, the party at the helm of affairs for Lagos for a number of years now. Is this a referendum? Is Saturday going to be a referendum on the leadership of the state under the APC?
If it turns out that it's a referendum on the performance of the party, I think the APC is in the flying call. Since 1999, it has been the fifth sector in this country, from the DRC to how we set up the NAFTA, to how we set up NAFTA, to how we set up even the advertising agents. And here we are, setting this example down. State after states are coming to learn how to get things right in their own state. This particular governor, this one has really taken it a step further by giving to fruition many of the dreams of the Democratic Governor of Lagos State in 1996, who is now the president-elect of the APC, which is the dreams was the metro line. We have one functioning as we speak right now, and the red line is soon to be completed. A good portion of it is soon to be completed. We also have the Lekki Deep Sea Port, which has been put into operation by this government. That's outside of the many things this government has done in terms of pulling Nigeria back from the brink of the pandemic of COVID. Because if Lagos hadn't taken the lead in showing other states how to deal with it, I think the pandemic will be much rougher on the nation. So we are very confident that if it is a referendum on our performance, there is no way about the APC and victorious, not only in the gubernatorial election, but also the House of Assembly election. So we have no fear. We needed keep up our backside and got that, and we have reorganized and we are moving forward to victory.
So it's interesting you talk about sort of the governorship and the state House of Assembly, because it also, in a way, might mirror the presidential and the National Assembly. So we know that while APC did retain control of the National Assembly, this 10th Assembly is expected to be probably the most diverse, because we saw Labour gain 6 seats at the senatorial side and 34 House of Representatives seats at that side. And there are some losses, both on the APC side and the PDP side, to Labour candidates and in some cases to PDP candidates. Some would say that's a sign of things to come for the APC. While it may continue to retain power, that grip on power is loosening, that people are asking for more, they're demanding more accountability and transparency, and it's not sure if the APC can give them that. What do you say to those?
We are happy. People aiming to be the gubernatorial candidate of the party. PDP lost the campaign manager or the gubernatorial candidate. So when you look at this issue, the APC has played to be getting its act right personally by using consensus and coming to agreement that work for the party, because the party is supreme. So what I will tell Nigerians is that please watch out. These parties that have produced the number of National Assembly members that have produced, it will be very short if they can hold the house together and maintain this number of assembly members by the time elections come around in 4 years. Again, elections and politics are two different things. if they can hold it together the way the APC has held it down for the last 8 years, then they deserve the commendation. So, I tell Nigerians that it may be the no part has not apparently no part has not taken English up in here too. But the same party that has also said, we started money in place of
All right, Gbenga, apologies, I have to interrupt you. We're struggling, unfortunately, with your audio, and it's making this conversation a very difficult one. So I'm going to take a break, see if we can sort that out, and also bring in my last guest for tonight's Politics HQ. So viewers, Gbenga, please stick around if you can. We'll be back right after this. The issues, controversies, and players in some states have found themselves prominently featured in the national stage in the lead-up to Nigeria's governorship elections. And as much as we've talked about who could become Nigeria's next president, which we now know, conversations have also been dominated by who would become governor of Lagos. Would Governor Wike be successful with his candidates in Rivers? Could Governor Seyi Makinde hold on to his seat in Oyo? And much more. Political analyst Ademola Isaac Oyetunji joins me now to look at these issues. Ademola, welcome to Politics HQ. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, yes. Good evening, Nigerians. Good evening. Thank you for having me.
So this is the season that many like us, you, a political analyst, us in the media, we tend to get excited about. There's a lot of rumors, speculations, movement, alignment. But at the end of the day, it's about people wanting better for their lives, wanting the best leaders for the next 4 years. So let's start with what is probably the most prominent state election that's probably going to happen on Saturday, and that's in Lagos. So Babajide Sanwo-Olu of the APC, Gbadebo Rhodes-Viver of LP, and Abdulaziz Adediran of the PDP have emerged as the front runners. Aside from party affiliation, do you think there's anything that sets each of these contenders apart, especially in the political sense? Because we know Adediran was a member of the APC before crossing the carpet to the PDP. Rhodes-Viver was a member of the PDP before doing the same and joining the LP.
Well, once again, I say thank you for having me. And I say good day to Nigerians. As we are preparing for this election, I want to, first and foremost, urge Nigerians to please go out and vote, irrespective of what happened in the last election. We have voter apathy last election, right? Quite well for presidential and national assembly. Then come to on the 18th of March, that is this Saturday coming up. I want to urge Nigerians to please go out in mass to cast their votes. And from there, I really want to as well employ our security agents, agencies to be to do their due diligence to secure and make sure that the election goes on fine. Then I will want to talk about what has happened in the past and what, because it has a relation to what is to come on Saturday. The election,
so, Ademola, I have to interrupt you because we are on a time limit, and I've asked a very specific question about the challenges in Lagos State, and I really want to hear your thoughts on that before we get to other matters.
Thank you. For Lagos State, we are having three main contenders. We have Rhodes-Viver from Labour Party. We have the sitting governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. We have Dr. Adediran Jendo, and we have one other man, Doherty, as the case may be. So the thing is, the game is getting better. That chance, and I am saying that in the time past, it's just within two main parties, and now we're having a third force just coming up 8 months to the election, and everywhere change, and even the dynamism of election. I mean, electioneering is changed over time. We've seen how people now canvass, how aspirants are now canvassing and begging and soliciting for votes. Which it has never been. Even before the presidential election, We have it that, of course, some aspirants didn't attend
Debate.
the debate
Yes.
organized. So, and this is, and coming after the presidential election, I haven't seen what transpired. We now see a kind of change. We now see some aspirants going to church, going to, different place of worship, just to solicit and familiarize themselves, with the public, which has not been. So it's getting better for us, in Nigeria. Whoever that wins the election of Lagos State, I will say, because the chances is just there. Whoever that wins the election is a better day ahead for us as Lagosian, as the residents of Lagos. I'm doing business in Lagos. Whoever that emerge is my governor.
I like that point you make, because it's actually part of my closing as well, because whoever emerges is our governor, and who has become the president-elect is our president once he's sworn in. But do you think that this is going to be a tight race? Because I don't want to put you in the spot and ask for your predictions, but do you see this being a tight race across the three major contenders?
You see, I will not actually predict, because I don't want to judge from the angle of what happened in the presidential election. But it's actually a tight race, and that's why you could see that all the contenders, they are not, they are running. The way the canvass for votes before is not the way they're canvassing now, and they are begging. You even see some agency of government now begging. Which is actually not the way it's supposed not to be, because they are civil servants. They are working for state, not for any governor sitting or whatever. So it's for you to know the extent. People are aware, youth are aware, people are aware they want to vote, they want to cast their vote, even irrespective of what happened in the last election, whereby we have voter intimidations, we have a lot of harassment, we have a lot of ballot box that is being snatched, and all of coalition issue, and all of that. Still, people are still saying we still want to vote. So it's getting better for us in Nigeria. So it's actually a tight race. It's a tight race. And I want to say this because a couple of things are out there that somebody is, is not an indigent or whatever. This is not the time to play all this card. It's a divide and rule. I want to urge Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian. I'm a Yoruba man. But I want to urge Nigeria. Whoever, all of those people, they are Nigerian and they are Lagosians. They are qualified to contest for the seat of governor of Lagos State. Let's not use divide and rule of ethnicity here. We should not be campaigning using ethnicity to campaign. And as a matter of fact, all of them, they are bona fide members of Lagos State and indigent and residents of Lagos State. So I want to say that people should please vote based on individual credibility and capacity. And I'm not talking even experience, because when people talk experience, I wonder why the sitting governor, I don't know where he got the experience before he emerged as the governor. He unseated a sitting governor who has experience more than him, even in civil service and all of that. So we are not talking about some experience that we don't even need those experience. We want somebody that has a trackable record, that is transparent, that can deliver and give us, that has communicate to the public what he wants to do, how he's going to do it.
All right.
Not so that is a fading debate and all of that.
Okay, Ademola, I want us to go to Rivers now. We've seen Governor Wike make himself a very central figure in this election season, particularly after the PDP presidential primary. So although we know Bola Tinubu was declared the winner of the presidential election polls in Rivers State, the LP is contesting that result. Now, the main opposition candidates, they seem to be very strong on their own. Toyin Cole of the APC, who is co-founder and former group executive director of Zahara Group. Then we also have Magnus Abe of the Social Democratic Party, who is a commissioner of information under Peter Odili and is a two-term senator representing Rivers. Then we come to Wike's candidate, who is Sim Fubara of the PDP, who is also a former accountant general of the state. So, of course, Wike is not running, but we've seen some of his actions, his statements, his groupings and alignments in this election season. Do you think that Wike will have his way in Rivers State?
You see, people are more aware these days, and that's what I'm saying, that I'm happy for what is happening in Nigeria today. As a matter of fact, people are not voting party. The people choose to vote individual. Now, the person of Governor Wike, who is actually not on ballot now, what transpired last election will tell you that people are not going to vote based on who is our governor deciding for us. People want to decide who leads them now. So the contest is not between Governor Wike is actually somebody he anointed, against all odds and all of that. So for other contenders, they are frontliner, they are, politically they are there. So you could see what is happening before the election, how even the governor Wike, one of the strong person, a representative of, National Assembly, was docked because he's a strong person, or because he's from another camp, because the person is actually high in the seat of governor. You can see all of those things that played out, before even the emergence of the anointed candidate of the governor. So all of these things, people are aware, people are just watching. So for the result that you see from Rivers State last election, you will see that people are not buying the idea of where the governor is actually going. So the situation I just want to urge again is that the security agents, apparatus, they should not see themselves as a staff of the sitting governor or president or anybody. They are institution. So you could see in Rivers State the last election where a ballot box was actually snatched in the presence of a police officer, and you should use that vehicle, to do all those kind of acts. It's not good. That's not the Nigeria police that we know. That we crave, that's going to give us a security and a secure environment and all of that. So they are actually not staff of the governor, but the staff of the state. So they should see themselves like that, and they should, they should do, they play, their game very well this time, because people actually are set and ready. They want to defend their vote and make sure that their vote
very true. Okay, Ademola, I need to sneak this in because of time, because as I mentioned, of course, Governor Wike, the famous or infamous G5 comes up as well, depending on what side of the divide you're on. But one of the members of the G5 is Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, and he's running for a second term. But it's possible that his alignment with Wike and some accusations of working against his party, the PDP, may have a bearing on his potential to win. But he remains a very popular figure in Oyo State. And I want to ask this. Do you think with Oyo State and Seyi Makinde, it'll come down to whether or not he still has the goodwill of the public? And I ask that realizing that some of the other members of the G5 actually lost their attempts to go to the Senate from the government houses of their state. So it seems to be a pushback against some of the members of the G5. Could Seyi Makinde also, unfortunately, possibly follow that trend?
You see, it's actually, let me answer this, and I will give an explanation to that effect. It's possible that governor of Oyo State might not return, because we have seen that play out for Governor Autumn, who was unable to get the Senate seat. Because see, a house that is divided cannot what? Stand. So in the Oyo State politics of PDP, we have the loyalists of the person of Atiku Abubakar, who the governor was actually not, in alignment with. And you remember, like I said, when there's a divided, when you go to a war divided, you know that you have actually, defended yourself. So, and the other oppositions, like the APC, they have their issue as well. Then there are other labor, other container anyway. But I want to say this might affect the person of the sitting governor. Remember, the last election, it wasn't just his party that gave him the victory.
Yes.
There was an alignment, and people are aggrieved. And let me tell you, I'm very familiar with politics of Oyo State. I was there day before yesterday, and I met with some, political, big wings, and what they are saying is not the thing. Let me tell you, Governor Seyi Makinde might not return. Because even those people that formed the alliance with him then, 2019 election, they fall out because they were saying that he didn't keep up the agreement and all of these things. So that is on his side. Two, you remember he removed his deputy governor. Yes. Before the election. So that's another factor. So a lot of things is might work against this person. Okay. That's just my thought in that respect.
And what we do here all the time is that 24 hours in politics is a very, very long time. Unfortunately, the time we have on Politics HQ is not long enough. Ademola Isaac Oyetunji, thank you so much for joining me on Politics HQ tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. God bless Nigeria.
All right, and God will bless this country.